And we are here. It is currently July 11th. It's actually pretty funny. The last time I was here, I was talking about how I had little white spots on the, that I thought were white blood cells on my tongue and on my lip. What actually turned out was I gave myself a case of oral thrush from basically overusing the antibacterial mouthwash. Here's how it works. In everyone's mouth, there's fungus and bacteria and yeast and all that sort of stuff, and there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria, but the mouthwash doesn't actually differentiate between good and bad, so it ate away the good bacteria, and so I had this fucking horrible thing in my mouth. My tongue swelled up. There were white spots all over the front of it, and I was, basically eating away at my tongue. They gave me, went to the emergency room once I found out it was an allergic reaction, and they gave me this stuff that I would, spray into both sides, not spray, but almost, pump. Like, they give you like a syringe, and you pump it to both sides of your mouth, and then you swish it around, and then you swallow it. You don't spit it, you swallow it, so it makes you, it teaches you how to be a really good girl. It didn't taste bad. It tasted like, sugary bananas. But yeah, it got pretty bad, because I couldn't talk. So this, I wouldn't have been able to. I'm actually, see, this shows that I'm good. That I know what to do. Let me turn it down just a little. All right. But yeah, I know, it shows that by going bi-weekly, I did a good thing, because otherwise, you would have gotten it's very me being on this now and then. So, I'm deaf in one ear, but, I'm not that deaf. It's actually funny, by the way. I know why deaf people talk like that. When I went deaf briefly from my Meniere's, it's funny because when you can actually hear things, you just hear the stronger consonants when you hear something. Like in this ear is dead, pretty much. So, when I hear stuff in there, if someone were to say hello, that's what it would sound like. So, when deaf people speak, that's the only, what the sounds make. They don't get some of the stronger, more precise parts of it. But yeah. So pretty much that's what happened to me. That was fun, because I love going to emergency rooms. Which is also funny, when I was at the emergency room, there was this Russian doctor there. And one of the receptionists, or whatever they call them there when you go to triage, they were discussing about what their policies are, and how, the policy generally is if someone can sit, they don't give them a bed. And, the Russian doctor was, he was like, that's bullshit. I mean, I could go to any, and as he says, like, I could go to any of the people sitting here I could go, 84-year-old woman there, she could sit in chair, anyone could sit in chair, I don't see this. And, the woman, of course, was like, well, you should talk to the administrator if you have a problem with it. And this other doctor came up, and he started saying, he goes, they're telling me about this, and the other doctor said too, he's like, anybody can sit in a chair and die. You could take a corpse and put a corpse in a chair. So, it's funny that was the criteria for whether or not to actually give someone a bed. I didn't need one, because it was just my tongue that was the problem, but yeah, I also a lot of split ends. I'm gonna have to cut my hair, and I really am not looking forward to doing that. Not short, just like an inch or two, so it grows in longer and healthier. But yeah, I'm also thinking of dyeing it black again. I don't know, I'm getting kind of bored with this color. I would ask what you think, but don't really care. So yeah, that's what happened to me. That was my July 4th weekend. That was fun. Although, you know, I did get to work with Klebold on some more stuff. Really excited for you to hear what we've been doing. You know, I mean, we had the setbacks with the members that I had to fire, but, you know, we're moving forward, and, you know, it'll, you know, it'll be pretty, you know, cool when you hear. By the way, this is RPG music in the background. I'm like a big fucking nerd, and I put video game soundtrack stuff in my Winamp. So yeah, that's like, you know, town music or whatever. In fact, you know what? Let me show you just how much of a big frigging nerd I am, because I collect all these things. You know, like here's my, if you ever played Persona 3, it's the hat that Junpei wears, or Stupei. Yeah, see, you can see why I don't really wear hats. There's, you know, various art books from obscure RPGs that you have never heard of. There is my Street Fighter 4 headband. You know, there's soundtracks, there's all sorts of shit. You know, I'm not going to go into all of it, but, you know, I'm a big nerd. What can I say? I love this shit. Which, speaking of which, I've gotten some calls from people, not calls, you know, messages and inbox shit or whatever, but you know what I mean when I say calls. But yeah, I've gotten some of those asking that I should do some, besides just the general Charles speaking videos, that I should do some video game reviews, and I should do just talking about different stuff, you know, like a different thing. And I'm just like, you people are really just, you know, going out of your way to like fucking, you know, try to get more videos out of me. I'm not really sure what, you know, is thinking, but yeah. Ooh, okay, but yeah. You know, I might do some of that, I don't know. I have an idea for some stuff I might do video-wise, but you'll have to wait and see it. In the meantime, I also wanted to point out, there's a photographer who does some awesome work that I'm super impressed by. She does Miru Kim. She does these nudes, but she does them in like these decaying industrial areas around the city and everything. And you know, it's also, it's so, to me, it looks like after the apocalypse and society has fallen, and, you know, like there are naked feral people living in like the ruins of society. I'll try to put some of her her stuff up there, but yeah, you should check her stuff out. I love it, and I'm, you know, I see a lot of art, and you don't really hear me talking much about it, but I see her work, and I'm just blown away. She did this other work where she went upstate to pig farms, and she's like naked amongst the pigs, and she has this whole big explanation about how human skin, you know, anatomically, humans are closer to pigs than we are to, you know, other primates. And it's, you know, sometimes it's like a Where's Waldo type thing, where you see like 50 pigs and you have to look at the picture and see where the naked woman is in there. But yeah, it's I'm really impressed with it, and I really like her work. Which reminds me, I have to get into doing photography myself soon, because you know, that's exactly the type of stuff I used to shoot. You know, me and one of my models, I remember we were like sneaking around Williamsburg at about, what, like 5 in the morning, finding this construction site. And, you know, she quickly took her clothes off, took the pictures, got out of there before we could get arrested. You know, this whole guerrilla photography thing, and I've always been very fond of that. But what Miru Kim does is so much beyond what we did. I mean, she's climbing on the Williamsburg Bridge. She's, you know, you know, just climbing and going into abandoned subway tunnels and stuff, and it's just brilliant stuff. I'm super, super impressed with what she's done. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much what's happening for this week. Yeah, I'll save it for next time. I had an idea in my head. But yeah, and actually also, by the way, for the people who were talking about me doing video game reviews and stuff, which, you know, I would love to do, because, you know, I play a lot of obscure shit that people probably haven't heard of. Oh yeah, and I broke 2 nails, by the way, so you can see the difference, what it looks like. But, anyway, you know, as far as doing that, I don't actually even know how I would even show, because, you know, I can't just sit here and talk about a game and not show a clip of it. So, you know, I'm not really even sure how that would work. If I can figure out how to do that, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess I will call it a segment and finish up. So yeah, make sure to comment on this and do all the little things to stroke my ego, so that I know you're watching. Oh, and I do have to say it's pretty funny. The one positive thing about getting the oral thrush, I have to say, is I had to change my diet. I had to cut out dairy. I had to cut out fruits and anything with any sort of sugars in them. So I was just having like beef and tuna and chicken and purified water, and I fucking hate water. But I'll tell you, man, my skin cleared right up. I don't know if what that says about my diet previously, but my skin looks pretty nice right now. So yeah. Anyway, bye, and check out Miru Kim stuff. MiruKim.com. Ooh, it's the doctor with me. All right, so toodles.